Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. Hope everybody's day is starting out well. Thank you for joining me. Whether you join live and comment, watch a replay, listening to the audio podcast, Apple, Spotify, website, wherever. Thank you to all of you. You listeners is why I do this every day. Over 1,030, 40 days straight now. So not going to stop either. Appreciate all of you. Yesterday's training went really well. Did both of a communication training for folks, dealing with conflict and de-escalation strategies. Then in the afternoon, I did an active shooter training, teaching people things they can do before, during, and after to keep people alive and minimize, the destruction that these terrible acts do. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about work. It was inspired by my mug, the Bunkhouse, Dutton Ranch, Protect the Land. This is a Yellowstone mug. Of course, I have to have one Yellowstone mug in the collection. I worked on a number of seasons of Yellowstone. You can even see me in a few episodes if you look really close. And on the inside lip of this mug, it says, "Cowboy work ain't easy." No work is really easy. That's why it's called work, right? And a lot of times we don't want to do it because it's not easy. It's not fun. Things we'd rather be doing, but we need to. And that's why it's called work. And a couple things we got to remember. You don't want to do it. You're procrastinating. You're not feeling up to it. Remember the end goal, why you're doing it. That's the important thing. Maybe you want to see the job accomplished. That's the goal. And it'll feel good when it's done. But sometimes we do work that we could care less about. We're just doing it for the paycheck, right? A lot of people in that situation. Keep your eye on that paycheck. Keep your eye on what it's providing. You're providing for your family. You're saving for something good for you, for them. So keep your eye on that to help you get through that toughness, because work ain't easy. So that's just something to remember. And every once in a while, you got to take a break. Some people get burned out doing too much, and it's proven that by taking breaks, you can be more productive. I was listening to a guy doing a study, and he said there was a study of these people like working 90 hours a week for so long, and then people working less hours. And because the burnout and your productivity goes down when you're working those long hours over time, that at the end of the time, they weren't getting more done by working those super longer hours. Now, obviously, that's relative to what you're doing and what kind of things are being done. Some things are not as, you don't produce as much, but they still have to be done. And so sometimes long hours of those just have to be put in, and you're not necessarily producing, but you're doing something that has to be done. And then for sometimes, for short periods, those long hours have to be put in, and they can be productive as long as they don't stretch out too long where it burns you out and so forth. You got to have the breaks. You got to mix it up. And the key is keeping that end goal in sight. Why are you doing what you're doing? And have a good, purposeful why. The more important your why, the easier it's going to be to do the work, even though it ain't easy. Make sense? I think we all need to remember that sometimes, especially the crazy world that's going on right now. And, people are working without getting paid, and working, and their paycheck isn't going as far in some places and so forth. And we got to keep those things in mind. I want to say good morning to Thad. Thad's here and said good morning. Appreciate you being here, Thad, and saying good morning. Dixon made a couple comments. What did Dixon have to say today? Appreciate you being here. I feel so useless and empty-headed as I can't come up with any innovative ideas for a thinking man's Thursday. Thanks, Dixon. And then Dixon said, sorry, you sparked one of my pet peeves. It's couldn't care less as could care less. Doesn't make any sense despite the fact many people say it. All right. Thanks, Dixon. Thank you guys for being here. Thank everybody that watches replays and listening to the podcast. Appreciate all of you. The numbers have been going up for people downloading some of the free guides at enjoylifesafely.com. Thank you to all of you as well. I hope those guides are helping, whether you get the guide on staying safe, whether you get the guide on getting back up when you've been knocked down, whether you get them both. You can also get the free awareness guide and the tips on staying safe and defending yourself. All those free guides are available at enjoylifesafely.com. Download one or all of them. They're there to help you. And if you decide to get one of the companion courses, low price on them just to help you even more, wonderful. I appreciate that too. Go out, make it a thinking Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow.